Radio and TV Network. Tuesday through Friday. That's Tuesday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Sunday evening again, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am anticipating a special guest this evening, our sister Michelle White. She's the owner of the Next Step Soul Food Restaurant that is not far across the street from where we're located. We're at 670 Washington Street, and she is right across the street, and she's ringing my phone, so I'm sure she's outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the phone simultaneously while I'm going to put on some music, and I will let my sister know where we're at. Hold on, my sister. I'll be right with you. I'm going to, I'm going to put on some music, and we will be right back. Again, 617-282-0685, www.bostonpraiseradio.tv. I'm going to play some music while we're waiting to shift gears and receive our guest, Mark Green, local artist. The song's title is Hear My Prayer.
When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. Yeah. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. Now in the world, I only prayed when I needed your help. I wasn't thinking about praise, I was thinking about self. I wanted you to change the hand they dealt, expand my wealth. And when I got sick, I prayed for health. Often asked you for help. You gave me that. You never one time asked that I pay you back. That's why I'm taking time to lay this track, the latest fact. Bring it to the light, no fade to black. I don't know how many chances you gave me, Lord. All I know is that you never ever played me, Lord. So now I'm gonna bend my knees. I let my grief extend my life. I know you paid the price. By a world, I'm no longer a slave to thee. And the earth's no longer a grave to me. I can live cause Christ has paid for me. Now I can be what I was made to be. That's right. When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. Now you can act like you never asked God for help. Walk around like you're tough, keep it under your belt. Who else really know the pain you feel, the pain you felt? Who else know the things you think, except for self? It's time that we all give God some thanks. He's reliable like cash you can take to the bank. If you want to bet on Christ, he'll do you right. The blind gets brought to light, he'll give you sight. So don't ever sleep on the power of prayer. Put yourself in God's hands for immediate care. If you got a heavy burden that's hard to share, if you got a heavy load that's hard to bear, give it all to the Lord and his listening ears. Dry your tears, Christ will subside your fears. Give your heart to the Lord, he abides in there. All your goodness lies in there, yeah. When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. I know that God answered prayers, cause he did it for me. I know that God answered prayers, cause I'm finally free. I'm no longer chained down to them streets and stuff. I'm no longer duck slugs from them cats that's bust. I've been saved by the word, so I don't do drugs. I'm protected from the world, yeah, I'm covered in blood, I'm covered in love. That's why I want to share my joy. I don't do them old things that I did before. See, my whole life changed when I bent my knees. Darkness gave way to the light you see. It's the spirit of the Lord shining bright in me. Now I feel so free, you've enlightened me. It's like a burden had been lifted and I reached new heights. Once nothing made sense, now they seem so right. One thing seemed dark, now they seem so bright. Once I would've fell apart, now I'm keeping it tight. When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers.
We honor your presence in this house today, God.
My prayer, amen. It's Boston's own Mark Green here. My prayer, amen. We are just about ready to receive our guest. However, we need to make a couple of more adjustments here. So I'm going to go to some more music by the same artist, Boston's own Mark Green, a.k.a. The Oracle. This song is titled actually Spoken Word.
For no one, I call upon the heavens, Lord, please come save our nations. He died and left salvation. Society's beaten, brutally battered. We have no peace and faith is scattered. Many minds condemned, and as the devil lay watching, impatiently waiting to attack your people, Lord, and all the grips of temptations. Now cast us down to hell with no way out for release. Can you hear us crying, Lord, here in the belly of this beast? And as I speak up to the heavens, my voice becomes real plain. I'm quietly listening. Jesus, I call your name.
Jesus is your best friend. Jesus, he will be there until the very end.
Our youth needs to be led, and as I look upon your children, they're stone-faced and hard heads with souls that's not fed. Rapid fire, no protection, with spears of worldly cravings. Righteous paths never walked and didn't make it to daylight savings. And time is dim and space is lost, and the world is living in. And what's the cost? And troubles revealed and missions walked in and journeys ends, cause death is taught and it's all the lessons learned. My voice becomes real plain. I'm quietly listening. Jesus, I call your name.
Jesus is your best friend. Jesus, he will be there until the very end.
As I call upon the heavens, my voice becomes real plain. I'm quietly listening. Jesus, I call your name. This world is in my mouth. My knees ache with pain. I'm praying and praying and praying. And what I'm saying is, I'm at a loss for words, but the sound still needs to be heard. This battle is way past war, and you're the God we serve. Jesus, you're my Lord. Jesus, you're my King. Jesus, can you hear me, Lord? I lift my voice and sing. And as the nations tremble and Satan becomes more open, hitting angle at the angle, but it don't stop me from hoping. You said if we shall ask, it's what we shall receive. Continue to keep your people, Lord. I have faith and I believe. And as I call upon the heavens, my voice becomes real plain. I'm quietly listening. Jesus, there's power in your name.
Jesus is your best friend. Jesus, he will be there until the very end.
Amen. I love that song, my brother Mark Green. Jesus is my best friend. That's so true. A friend that sits closer than a brother. When mother and father forsake us, he will receive us. Amen. You can see that I'm live here in the studio with my special guest, Michelle White. How are you, my sister?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome. So
It's
good
good
to
to be
see
here.
Thank you. And so our sister is the owner of Next Step Soul Food, right? Across the street we frequent.
Yep.
We love Next Step Soul Food. She knows how to make whiting just like I like it. How do I like it, Michelle?
You like it fried hard.
Yes, ma'am. And she takes good care of us and good care of the community. We're so proud of her as a black woman business owner, and I would add, as a black woman Christian owner as well.
Yes.
We're so pleased to support her business, and we're glad that she could take time to come into the studio. So I want her to start from the beginning, and this is a live interactive broadcast, so you can see us, you can hear us, and you can call in live on the air, 617-282-0685. You can communicate in our instant chat room on our main webpage, www.bostonpraiseradio.tv. She and/or I will be happy to answer your questions, to hear your comments, but we want it to be a dialogue as we're building relationship. It's all about relationship, right? With God
Yes.
and with each other.
Yes.
Amen. And so I want you to share with our listening and viewing audience, and even re-educate me on a little bit of just who is Michelle White. Tell us a little bit about your story, your family.
Sure.
Wherever you want to start.
I'll start from the beginning.
All right.
My parents are from the South, South Carolina, Moncks Corner and Lake City. They moved up here in like the 60s into South End, and pretty much predominantly Jamaica Plain and Dorchester. That's our hometowns that we're in. And I couldn't help but to do what I do because that's the way I grew up. I always grew up with a table, and it was no problem if somebody showed up. It was always, hey, there's a seat.
Yep.
There you go. You can eat, So pretty much. So it's myself, my mother, my brother, and my whole family's here in Boston, actually.
Wow.
So I actually spent about 35 years in early education and care.
Oh, wow.
So my mother and myself, when she retired, I knew it was almost time for me to go. It was getting hard getting on the floor and work with those babies. But I gave myself a timeline, and I kept saying, okay, I'm going to retire, but what am I going to do after that?
Yeah.
So my mom, she actually is a member of Freedom in Christ Ministries across the street with Pastor Joe Ribeiro and Sister D. And, they're really in the community, and my mother always cooked for them. So one day they asked her, hey, wait a minute. This food is really good. You've been cooking for us for a long time. What do you think about opening a restaurant? My mother said, no. She said, but you know what? My daughter, she might be interested. If she does it, I'll do it.
Wow.
So, and she talked to me the same time I was actually transitioning out of my job in early education and care. And then next you know, she was like, would you want to do it? And I was like, well, I guess so, because I've always been cooking alongside her for that long. So it just was a natural transition. It went from the kids we had a family childcare in our homes. And so the kids were always getting extra food to bring home. And their parents were like, he will not eat my food. You got to make more food. So, so I kept saying to myself, I never, not in a million years, thought about owning a restaurant. You know what I mean? I thought, just give me a window where I can throw some food out at people. I'll be all right. But yes, 34 seats. If we were like in 23, that's what we're going to go back to. 34 seats.
Yes. Small
cafe. I say small, but you know.
34 is pretty large.
34 is pretty large.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm going to go up to 34, but at least 10 to 15 seats.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back to school and got, an intensive course for 12 weeks. And, I enjoyed it. I loved it because my mom had me working alongside her. So it was no problem. Graduated top of my class.
No,
and
went
just
to school for what?
Well, just for kitchen training, because I knew I could cook, but I didn't know if I could cook large batches of food and quickly and safely and all that stuff. So, you have to go get trained and everything.
Yeah.
So, but my passion really, really is, it's about the community. What we want to do is, I don't want to turn away anybody that wants something to eat. I really don't. That's why I make soup all the time. That's why I make cornbread all the time. Because I don't care whether you have money or not. You are going to eat. That is just life. You know what I mean? And I have brothers and sisters, and I will have, I pray that somebody would have mercy on them as well.
Yes.
So in the community of Common Square, I fit in so well because Common Square, everybody around here cares about each other. Yeah. We really do. Yeah. You walk up and down the street, there's people that you see, I shop local. I try my best. I probably once every 2 or 3 months go to Restaurant Depot. Otherwise, I shop here in the neighborhood because if I shine, you're shining.
Yes.
If you shine, I'ma shine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
as we lift each other up, dry cleaning, whatever I need to get done, I do it here in Common Square, because that's what it is to be in a business in a community and to be a business neighbor. You know what I mean, in the community. So yes.
Wow. So how long has Next Step Soul Food been in existence?
Well, we started in 2016, and we really didn't think we were going to make it. We were like, you know what? Let's just do this. We just started out myself, my brother, my mother.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in 2020, my mother fell ill and my brother fell ill at the same time. So we were there, but we just weren't open since 2020. A friend of ours came back from Wuhan, China, and said, life as you now know it is going to be totally different. This thing, COVID, is going to be serious. Take your mom home, because my mother, she has some health problems.
Sure.
And just like, take your mom home. Don't let her be in this environment. And thank God for that person. Thank God for him. So what we did was I scraped up. I don't know how, but God did it.
Yes.
I could even, I think smoke would come out my brain if I really thought about it. I have no idea how I paid rent all this time.
Really?
Still paid rent all this time.
Paid rent right through COVID?
Yes.
Even though you were not open?
Yes.
You still had to pay rent?
Yes.
Were you able to get any PP money?
I got like a small PPE, whatever it was at the time. It was like $500. So I got all that, all my mask and sanitary stuff. I got those things down. And then I kind of understood it a little bit differently. I didn't felt like I was suffering from COVID, or no one in my family got COVID. Yeah. So I didn't feel right actually going for COVID money. But they're like, no, the economic impact of COVID in the community. Yes. So then in 2021, I went back. Okay. So I went back and I filled out and I got some help in it. That's why it helped me to really go all the way through 21 to 2022, and right now I'm just really holding on. I'm like, Lord, please help us, because right now we're doing fundraising, different things that we're doing, selling plates so that we can raise money so we can continue to pay rent, So
talk about the fundraiser.
Yes.
Talk about how, like, what you're doing now, and your goal is to raise resources so that you can pay rent and ultimately open to go back to having some some seating inside.
Yes. What happened during COVID, a lot of things just died. Yeah. Refrigerators. Oh boy. Freezers. Oh no. All kinds of stuff. My oven, we call him Big Poppy. Big Poppy's gone. There's no help in Big Poppy. There's no parts for Big Poppy. So I said, I went back to the drawing board. I'm like, if I do want to raise some money, I really need something that's going to increase my production. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because even when we were doing at full steam, it was never enough. Yeah. Sundays. You remember Sundays, people were out the door. So what I decided to do, I said, you know what? I because of family obligations, I can't do Sundays. But what I could do is I can bump up my production and just do that much more by getting a new stove. So our new stove we want to get is pretty pricey. It's a ventless, because we have no more room underneath our ventilation system. So I have to get something that's ventless, electric, because electric, even though it's a little bit costly, it winds up being better than gas, because gas is on constantly. Right. The electric, you turn that bad boy off, it's off. And I only cook for bake for a certain amount of time a day, and I just don't like the fact that gas is still constantly going. The ticket's still running all day long. So I want to do the electric. Okay. And also I want to just have enough money for operation, just to buy food and cook. That's it. Okay. So equipment, inventory, and
and rent.
Basically, that's it.
And so you have a GoFundMe page, right?
Yes, I do. Up? Yes, I do. It's still up, and thank God for people already. They're starting to give. Yeah, they're starting to give, and every single donation, it fires me up. It helps me, because I feel like I'm on a mission. I really, really feel it. I feel it deep, and I prayed about it. I said, God, if this isn't it, take. I have a fire that's here, and it's burning all the time. It's like an engine, and I'm like, okay, God, if this is not it, move me on to something else. Use me in another way, because I reach out. I talk to people. I love up on them. I show them that God he's real. You know what I mean? If he can change me
Yes.
and bring me into what I'm doing now from out of the left field, working with babies, you know, to there, it's for a reason, so that I can show people God's love, you know.
So how do they go to the GoFundMe page?
Well, Next Up Soul Food Cafe.
Okay.
If you look that up, it will pop up on GoFundMe.
Okay.
And it's just every little bit helps.
Is that the only way folks can? I mean, so you got the fundraiser, you have the GoFundMe. There's no other means, like do you do Cash App or?
Actually, we do Venmo. So people can give, and I just went to church today, and a sister came up to me. She was like, Michelle, I want to give you stuff, but I want your food, but I know I probably want to give before I eat. So I'm going to give you some money now, and I'm going to come and eat, So, and she was in town, and she did that. She just Venmoed me $40. I said, you know what? That's a blessing, because that helps. Every little bit helps. And then, honestly, the food that we got is from the community.
Awesome.
I want to thank people like Happy's Groceries. Yeah. They donated chicken.
Really?
Yes. Freedom in Christ Ministry. They donated. They were like, do you want a case of chicken? Do you want a case of this?
Beautiful.
Yes. Just people in the neighborhood.
Beautiful.
Just, I want to say Reno's Pizza. I mean, you name it. Just everybody that's in this neighborhood. Because I shop local, you know what I mean? And Kim's Fish Market, and you name it. And I just really, the people here are just wonderful, beautiful people. The area is, we're kind of cramped, and we're kind of on each other, and sometimes it's hard. It's easy to miss each other. So I make it a point to visit other businesses just to let them know I'm in the neighborhood too. What else? Omar's, the barbershop that's down there. Oh my goodness, those guys are fabulous.
Oh, you're talking about Cut to Fit?
Yes,
Omar's the owner.
Fit. And
my buddy Randy. Randy's my barber.
Yes, Randy's the man.
He loves your food. He's like, Michelle. He said, we need her in this community. It's not a luxury. We need. He said he's a black barber. That's one of the few black-owned barbers in the city as well. No disrespect. I mean, I've used our Dominican brothers and sisters. Yes. I mean, Dominicans doing a lot of barbering now.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they got a lot of the bells and the whistles and smoke and the mirrors, but and really understanding African American hair, and he does a straight razor, like the old. I mean, and very few people still do that. And so I am so happy that I connected him, and I try to be. Sometimes I have to wait because I like to keep it clean. Yes. But I'm loyal because. One, it's about relationship, and quite candidly, most recently, there's been a time that I had to say, I don't have it right now. Can I pay you? And he's like, of course, that's the relationship when you're talking about community. And I had to tell him that quite candidly, I had a Dominican barber that actually would let me run a tab, and so he was like that's nice, because I haven't had that experience quite candidly with some black barbers in the past, but he's like, absolutely. So it's a really different thing, and at that particular place, you can't. They're really cognizant of women, and children. In terms of your language, you know what I'm saying, respect. And you don't get some of that in some of these other shops. It's like
it's true.
Everything.
It's true.
So
yes, and my brother Terry has known Omar and Randy for a while.
Oh, for real?
And he would always kind of bring food to them, and I'm like, who are you bringing food to? He's like, my friend at the barber shop. I'm like, what barber shop? Because I go Washington, and then I make an L. You have to go right in the cut to get to the cut.
Right.
So those are great people. And Z, another hairstylist that's there as well.
Oh yeah. The ladies.
Yes.
Right.
So I just feel like there's so many
support. We have to support our own, but he really, in fact, when I told him that because you were closed for a while, and we really missed that when you were closed, and wondering so when we saw that you were, in fact, I think I told him, I was like, and he's like, really? He's like, oh, in fact, I had given him your number because at that point you were just doing your fundraising now.
Exactly. In the beginning, I was about 3 weeks ago almost.
So talk about the fundraising.
So yes, the fundraising is going well. It's a little different because I can't allow people to come into the shop. So what I have done is people go call my cell or text, and they can text their order. And if they even just call me and they want a menu, I can actually text them that as well. And they can pay through Venmo. Or now I have Square, so you can use a credit card, debit card, whatever. And people order it. I said, the earlier the better, because sometimes it's just me. So in order for me to jump ahead, like I could do that to 4 or 5 orders, but I just need a little time.
Sure.
You know, so they'll let me know, okay, already I have orders for Tuesday. They're like, Tuesday, 12 o'clock, this is what we want, you know.
What is the phone number that they will call to text?
My number is 857-321-3727. And you could text and just leave your name and the order or request a menu. And I'll just send it straight to you, and I'll send you my Venmo, little ID as well. And you could call me and ask me about the food. It's my own personal line. So I tell people it's real. It's a real situation. You're not going to get like an answer machine or something
press
like that.
Press 1, press 2.
Yes.
You're going to get Michelle.
Yes.
Directly.
It'll be me. I'll be like, yep.
It was what you need, right?
Exactly.
So they can call you directly.
They can call me directly.
They can text you.
Text me.
And you can then communicate back.
Yes. And the earlier you put your order in, the better. So like say if you want, it's Tuesday and it's 12 o'clock and you're thinking, I really want to take home some soul food at like 4. Call me around 12 and say, listen, this is what I want at 4. It'll be done. It'll be ready. Excuse me.
Yes.
It'll be done. It'll be ready. So
what is on the menu? What are some of the tasty delectables that you have right now?
Right now, what people are really responding to is the barbecue, the grilled barbecue, because I have an indoor grill. So that is surprising. So people it's not just barbecue and chicken, it's really grilled. So there's fried chicken plate, there's a grilled chicken plate, there's fried fish, which is catfish or your favorite, whiting. You have your just your sides, because I have a plate that for people who are not really eating meat.
Yes.
So you have mac and cheese, collard greens, potato salad, coleslaw, collard greens. That's it. Collard greens. Rice.
I'm glad you said it.
Cabbage, rice, things like that, and then plus you have like cornbread, which is there, and we also throw in one of the desserts. So I don't know what it is. So I make like 5 different desserts. So it could be coconut cake. It could be red velvet cake. It could be the cookie I just gave you tonight.
Fresh baked cookie. I can't wait to have it after the fact. Thank you.
Yes.
Chocolate chip.
And then my mom was telling me today, you really need to do banana pudding. And I was like, Mom, come on. And she's like, you got to do banana pudding. Just the secret to that is just make it as to order.
So it gets soggy.
Yeah. No, nobody wants that. No. Nobody wants brown. Nobody wants soggy.
Right. But that's awesome. So what are your hours that you are open?
Yes, my hours are kind of like, I like to call them grandma hours.
Okay.
Because really it's Tuesday through Saturday. So we start doing starting this Tuesday, we're going to start serving coffee and things like that. So I'm open for coffee and a little light fare.
Nice.
But it doesn't really get rolling until 11:30, 12 o'clock with the food until 5. Now, my last order that I try to fill and get out is at 5. So get it in before, because someone could sneak it in. Like one person, they were like, I'm going to wait till 5. And I'm like, you know what? I got to order for 10 dinners ahead of you.
Yeah.
So I tell people
don't
by
wait.
4,
4.
Get your order in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You try to be done by 5.
Yes.
Okay. So
because I got to get back home to
mama.
At 5.
Don't call in at 5.
Don't call in at 5. And people are like, no, but you need to be open later. Honestly, family obligations really prevent me from going longer. But if things are rolling, I'll try my real best to really accommodate folks that are coming in.
Yeah.
So
but that's so understandable.
So that's Tuesday through Saturday.
Yes. Okay. And so you said 11 a.m. starts the food.
That's when I start. The grease is hot.
So what about? But you said coffee. So what time can we get coffee?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
We have coffee. We have I just baked I don't know, just kind of light breakfast things. But I'm gonna see what people want. If someone calls in and say, "Could you do an egg sandwich? Do you do something like that? What about grits?" I want people to let me know, what they want, because I just don't randomly make a big pot of grits in hopes for people to come and get it.
But if you get enough folks to say, "Hey, we want grits,"
oh yes.
Well, I'm gonna try to rally folks, because there's no place there. I don't right here. I would love to be able to get some. I mean, we're talking about how many grits? We're talking about
Yes.
not quick grits, right?
No.
Talking about like
Yes.
the ones that take slow cook grits.
So yes.
Little cheese in it,
Yeah, well, hey.
if you want.
Well, hey, that's all we do.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's so we really do need that because I really believe in supporting black owned business, and the fact is that it's comfort food, right?
Yes.
And so we need that. I mean, I don't, some of the fast foods. I mean, I'm 57 and I have been trying to be really very conscious of taking care of my health.
Yes.
And so I try to eat healthy for the most part.
Yeah.
I really do. I do a lot of plant stuff,
Yes.
I really do. But, I try to balance it.
Well, I can't wait to really get back into the throw of things. Right now, we're concentrating on the fundraising part, so I can actually stay open.
Sure.
But once we do that, we have salads, sandwiches, soups,
Yes.
you name it.
Nice.
I make a mean crab meat salad,
Ooh.
and if you see all the shrimps that are in the crab meat salad, people are like, well, it's crab meat, but yeah, but it's really. It's delicious.
That
You know what I
sounds
mean?
delicious.
As well as, your salads and things like that. And a lot of things that are already prepared, like in the morning time, like people want to grab and go.
Yes.
They want to grab like a yogurt,
Yeah.
muffins,
Yeah.
things like that in the morning as well. So,
Nice.
because it's a cafe. I want to bring the cafe in. So we do have like iced tea. We have lemonade. We have iced coffee. We have specialty coffees. Yeah. So
And I saw you have something, a special refill or
Yes.
coffee. We'll talk about that.
yes, I tried it the other week,
Mm-hmm.
and I told people, if you come back in, you get a refill. That's no problem for me.
Oh, wow.
Because I run on coffee. I'm sorry, I run on coffee. Usually it's one and done, but I need that morning cup
Okay.
of Joe.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand that there is nowhere in the neighborhood outside of McDonald's
Right.
to really get it.
And
Yeah, so now I'm doing specialty coffee, so you'll get quality coffee, just ready. You could just even text me, Michelle. I'm coming in for coffee. What you got? That's how it is. What you got,
What you
girl?
got?
I got it.
9:00 a.m.
That's right. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's really good to know. So with regard to your ultimate vision, so again, you said 10, 15 seats that people can come in and sit down
Yes.
and have their meal, dine inside.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my goal for 23. I want to be back open in that capacity.
Okay.
And then from there, to see what God can do, because the only part that this is kind of I'm not sure about, it's just, can I fit can I still meet the standards? Because, even though COVID is, we're going past that phase, but we still have to observe the certain amount of feet apart.
Yeah.
Those things
okay.
are
Still in place.
Yeah, it's going to be the norm. So,
Yeah.
so in my place is big, but it's small.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yes.
I'm looking forward to having that. That's what I'm getting ready for.
Awesome.
Gearing up for.
And what about catering? Are you doing any catering at all?
Well, because of my family obligations,
Can't
I
really
think
right
I can't really, but I think it's coming.
Down the road,
I think it's coming
Yeah,
because
yeah.
once I get a jump start on what I'm doing, like if you're doing macaroni, it's
Yeah.
like there's no problem to make 4 trays.
Right.
Because once you do 2, then it's like 4, So I know it's going to come, but it's just that it's not right. It's not a good fit right now. Right now we're going to do that made to order stuff and work on those things just so that we can get back,
To
yeah, exactly.
And now, do you? I know before there were entities like I think. Oh my goodness! I went to a few meetings that were actually there. As you said, you're connected in the community. There's a group called I think Brothers Building Brothers.
Yes. I love that. I
Isn't
love
a
that
good
group. It was.
Yeah.
Yes, and I really appreciate it because my nephew attended that group as well.
Wow.
And he needed that support and that help as a young black man
Yes.
raising children. So I opened it up for just meetings in the community that I wanted to do, and it was successful. I also had a Bible study group as well. We met once a month at my place.
Oh, nice.
And it was the food was like there, you know what I mean? So they was kind of like, hey, I'm coming.
Yes, that's a draw.
Yes. So I want to make it so that people in the community will know there's always something going on.
Yeah. So with regard to being able to people that come in and things like again, like Brothers Building Brothers and those kind of entities. So I know some of the menu that you had were people would have specialty kind of things like chitterlings.
Yes. Yes.
As our
my
European brothers
goodness.
and sisters might call it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. And thank God for your parents, because my mom, wisdom, just plain up wisdom. She said, Michelle, I think chitlins will do really well. I scoffed at her. No way. Nah, I ain't even going to be about that. That thing, chitlins alone did rent.
Are you serious?
Paid rent a month. Yes.
Because it's a specialty.
My mother can take 25 buckets of chitlins and make it happen.
Really?
That's what she did. That and people as far as New Jersey, New York would come and they would call us and like, is there any way you could ship it to us?
Yes.
And we're like, oh my God, they're like, we're coming.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's still until now I was still getting calls.
You are?
Yeah.
So you're still doing that now?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't now because of
the production. I think what they're saying in some of the like Walmart and different places, Lord and Jeff's, different places that you would know to find. They're saying that they're not even really producing it.
Oh, really?
Because it takes a specialized training to clean and to do the production of chitlins. Oh. So now they don't have that. So I don't know what's happening. I wouldn't throw them away personally, but they're not it's very hard to get it. Some people are telling me they're getting it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of those things with COVID, a lot of things, production stopped. For whatever reasons, the various things.
Transportation, the refrigerated units and things like that. Yeah. So there's
for right now,
like multi-faceted reasons why it's not flowing the way, but it will be back.
It will be back.
And my mother is ready. There's two things that she does: the chitlins and the sweet potato pie. I don't mess with her.
That's her.
That's her thing. That sweet potato pie will make one eye close and a smile on your face.
What was so beautiful about it's just the feel, the family feel. The food's delicious. The service is really it's great. You come in, and even when you pass by, I mean, you come in, people acknowledge you, like your mom. It's just walking by. Just
waving,
mom waving, you waving. Terry was outstanding. Terry, Terry would come deliver. He would.
Yes, he would. His long legs. Oh my gosh. And it was beautiful because they helped. My mother, my brother, they volunteered.
Yeah, wow.
They didn't sign on for this.
Wow,
you know what I mean? I did.
Yes.
And then I decided. I said, you know what? People come in and they're craving something, not just soul food.
No, they're not.
They're craving that culture, that togetherness.
Yeah.
And people would sit down with my mother and just cry.
Wow.
Like start crying. Wow. And they're like, you remind me of my mother.
My mom. You need that.
Because mama. She look at you like.
Yes. Like, come on now. Just the look.
Exactly.
And then it just comes. Just flows.
Like, can I get a little more potato salad? Oh, okay. No, man. Okay, ma'am. I'm all set. Yep.
Wow.
And they would, and just guys would just be like, really confide in her and talk to her. And, they're like, you're a mom in the community.
Yes.
My mother just would be the sweetest mother. I said, what happened to that woman? That's not the one that was run after me with that switch.
It's always different when it's, community mom, even though, she might have to be a little firm.
Yes.
But it's a little different when it's your own kids.
Yes.
As a preacher's kid, I know people used to be like, your mom, and your mom's so sweet. She's praise the Lord, praise the Lord. She could have just got through tearing you up.
That's right.
And pick up the phone, praise the Lord.
That's right.
Like,
yes.
But that's how it is.
Yes,
it's all in love.
It's culture. It's who we are, as a people. And I appreciate the older you get, the more you appreciate that now. Yes,
it's absolutely true, particularly in this generation when we've gotten the notion of the village, right? We've lost the sense of village, and I think we're desperately gonna. I know we need it now more than ever with mental health and COVID and just so much is going on, incarceration, addiction. We talked a little bit offline, about the community and how we're family.
Yes,
and we got to look out for each other. People are dealing with so much.
Yes,
and I know that people. That maybe not seen for me, I might say, hey, you seen them? Say, yeah, I seen them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They don't like, those kind of things. I haven't. And let me do some research. I know where their mama lives.
It's
like
true.
Those kind of things that we're able to look out for each other.
Yes, yes. And then, I live 10 minutes away. Not even by car, by bus.
Right.
So,
I see you.
So in the community.
We're in the community.
Yeah.
You're on the bus. You're in the community. You live in the community. And I've seen you also be able to, help out. Like, folks need a little, need something to eat, or maybe need a little bit of change.
Yes.
When you afford them, hey, sweep up, clean up, do something.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're
my high
teaching
school
them.
students, Codman Square, I told them, listen, you bring me an A, you get a free meal.
Oh, really?
And they come in. They
The charter
definitely,
school?
yeah, the charter school, the upper and lower.
Nice.
And I told them, and see, the businesses shun the young because they don't understand them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I bring them in and I said, listen, if you're in here, you're going to act right.
Yes.
If you're in here, you're going to respect one another. You're
Yes.
definitely going to respect my mama.
Okay.
Yes. Because you that's something that you're just going to learn just by being around them, and even learning for the young men to learn how to properly talk to young women.
Yes.
I have facilitated that. Like even some of the teachers at the upper Codman Square,
Yeah.
the upper grades would come in and they would bring the whole class there.
Really?
And they would sit down and they would have a meal once a month. Yes.
Really?
As well as Kit Clark, or what I want to say, Baco.
Yes.
Different organizations would come in. So I felt very supported by the community.
Wow.
But I don't shun the kids away. I mean,
No, you
I love them
can't.
because I never had children,
Aw.
but I always felt like I was a mother
To the
to the
community.
people around us.
Yes.
And they come in and they're like, Miss White, what you need? What do you need me to do? And then also, like in the wintertime, I give them, hot cocoa and
Nice.
chicken on the way there, on the way to the library. So yes, because that's what people did for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I grew up in Jamaica Plain, and this in the 70s, I want to say, where people were in your business.
Yes.
You walk down the street and you're going too slow. Oh, Michelle, I think you need to hurry up. You're on your way to school. And I love that. And I want to be
Yes.
that way for the kids that are around here.
It's necessary. It's beautiful.
They grow up quickly.
Very quickly.
Oh,
very
yeah.
quickly. Another thing, talking about community, I know that, Pastor Bruce Waller, our senior pastor here, the founder of this radio and TV ministry, that, again, this is for the community.
Yes.
Right? So you've been here before.
Yes.
This is not unfamiliar to you. And so, believe it, you said Minister Banks interviewed you
Yes.
before?
Yes, in Priscilla.
Yes. And so, that's beautiful that, us being community. So this station here, multimedia, we have our own FM low power signal that's regulated by the FCC. So
Okay.
Pastor Walt believes in doing everything right, like slow and correct, as opposed to fast. A lot of folks are on pirated stations that are illegal stations, and
Yeah.
he doesn't
do it right.
No, do it right. Do it right. You want us to sustain, you
Yes.
need to do it slow and steady and right. There's the tortoise and the hare, and he's
Gotcha.
teaching us be the tortoise,
Yes.
consistent, because the hare, you're gonna pass right by him. He might go fast, but he's gonna peter out.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I appreciate that, this vision here. Pastor started with a vision, and we're the only black-owned
Wow.
station.
And I'm right across the street from you.
Yes,
That's amazing.
Yes. And Pastor does things outside in the community. We've done
Yes.
broadcasts in the community. We feed the community. We've done a little, things and because in fact, a young man that was in the community who we did not know, who was dealing with some mental health challenges, and he was actually feeling suicidal. And he was saying, I was hungry. And he saw that particular day we were offering food, and he came and said, I came to get a burger.
Wow.
And he came and got a burger, but that was his entree to building a relationship with our church.
Absolutely.
And started coming regularly and so forth. And we really, but he'll never forget, it was a burger that
Yep.
was the impetus that, one, he was able to get some nourishment, but also to not, that was the thing that was able to sustain him from being able to make a choice that could have, been detrimental.
Exactly.
And so we need to do that. So, but with that said, I know that the parking lot, so as we see what's happening in our community and gentrification, encroaching upon every little piece
Every
of land,
corner, yes.
every little patch of land, they are making high-end condos. They're offering people money for their homes, for their businesses, for their churches, right? In the South End, we'd see Ebenezer Baptist Church built by slaves. you know.
Wow, it is a shame.
Yes, that just got sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we see in the South, in Concord Baptist, there's another one,
Wow.
another eludes my mind right now, that's right on, you would know it. It's the Du Bois was the pastors of that church, but many of the black churches in the inner city, you know, where people are no longer. And so thanks be to God that here Global Ministries Christian Church is still here 136 years.
That is amazing.
This building, and by the grace of God, we are now doing renovations on the exterior of the building.
Yes.
And that's the favor of God, you know. And so we give God praise for our pastor, our founder, and our CEO, who's a person who believes in you know, support and being financial literacy, right? Like being a good steward of your resources.
Yes.
And so it's amazing what this church, and that really quite candidly has a small congregation that does big things.
Yeah.
He's a heart for the community. And this platform, Boston Praise Radio and TV Network, is because he wants to be able to be the voice of our community, where people, and we can mobilize and organize and advocate. Every person who's running for elected office comes through here.
That's right.
And they're saying what they're gonna do, and then when they get in office, we invite them to come back, and we want to hold them accountable and say, "You said you was gonna do."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're building a movement, and I know that the parking lot across the street. So parking is something that is really
Premium. It's
Premium.
crazy.
Yes.
Yes, it is really crazy. There's just no place to park.
No.
Very little.
But you
Yes.
were one who, because we, you know, engaged the community, and they were like, well, you know, the community, you know, so, but folks who live in this community know that parking is a premium, and that parking lot, quite candidly, was something that the Menino administration,
That's right, yeah,
afforded us to be able to manage.
Stewards, yeah.
Yes, and quite candidly, it's dirt. It's not really. It needs to be, you know, paved
and all that.
have lights, you know, so forth and so on. But nonetheless, at least it's a place we can park our cars for the businesses that people patronize. But it's not, and so they want to take that, and we're like, no. And you and other folks within the community, our sister across the street who owns the hair salon,
Judah. Is it
Judah
Yes.
House of Style?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. So
Yes.
she, you know, all the little small mom and pop businesses in the area were like,
up.
no, don't take it.
Yes.
And so the Menino administration and the Walsh administration. Now we're in the Wu administration.
That's right.
And we need to continue because
Yes.
the gentrification is still encroaching upon us.
It is. We feel it, especially in this area as well, because there's absolutely the parking. That's the reason why people don't want to come in, because where are you going to park?
Yeah.
You know, through Carbon Square, you drive through and you're looking, and if you park on the streets 2 hours, or something, and right out in front of my place, it's ticketing all the time.
All the time.
So I thank God for the parking lot that's there. And I was referred to Pastor Wall myself, and they were like, he's the steward over that.
Really?
You know, yeah, that's how I met him
Really?
initially. Yes.
Wow.
So, and it's a great resource. It's a great resource. If you know, it's not just the front part that's on Washington Street. Up in the back as well. There's more in the back. So
yes, and so we've used this platform. We even outside, right in front of the parking lot, being able to have folks from the community talk about the importance. So he took the station outside, had folks from the community outside say, "No, save the parking lot."
Yes.
And it works up until now.
Yes.
But we've got to continue to mobilize and be together as community to be able to speak up so that we make sure that people, our elected officials, are hearing
us,
the people, and we're not pushed out of our community.
Yeah, duped or tricked, because I feel like they're like, oh, it's going to be lower income. Okay, lower? You know, how lower? Well, it's going to be, you know, kind of like apartments for elderly that's like $2,000. I'm like, what elderly you know that can afford? You know,
affordable, yes.
1 bedroom or a studio for $2,000. Come on.
The notion of affordable, like you said, is something that they can bless you. They can dupe us because they that's a buzzword. Affordable, or so many affordable. Affordable for who?
Lower. I'm like, lower than what?
Right.
Back Bay.
Right. I don't know. It's crazy. So we need to be together as community. But we're so glad that Next Step is in the community. Why was it called Next Step? I'm curious. Is there any?
Wow. For 30 years, I had a daycare, Next Step Daycare.
Oh.
Yes, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. I gave my heart, mind, and soul, spirit. You know, God enabled me to work with the children. Wow. So once I decided to retire, I said, I'm going to go into do this. And I said, but I don't know what to name the place. And my brother said, name it this or name it Miss Annie. Well, I said, no, because, it's kind of like, I don't want to name it like a relative's name and then something happen. You know what I mean? That it goes under or whatever, So I said, you know what? My brother said, how about Next Step Soul Food? I said, wow, that really does ring. I mean, it's long. My email address, I'm there typing like Next Step Soul Food. Wait a minute, but it rings.
Yeah, it
and
does.
Someone tried to talk me into changing to something else.
Yeah.
And I ultimately just said, no, it is what it is. Next Step Soul Food. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, what's the next step? I don't know.
Right. Only God knows.
Only God knows.
Right.
He determines the steps,
Right.
But all I know, we got soul food.
Yes. And you're just a few steps next,
Right.
from where we are.
That's right.
You're right here.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's incredible. We're so glad that you're in the community. We're glad
Thank
that you're
you.
doing what you're doing. We encourage people to certainly support our sister Michelle White. Good food, good business, and it's important to support Black
Yes.
women businesses.
Yes.
Here in the city of Boston. So, again, people can order their food via your phone number.
Yes. 857-321-3727. It's the Next Step Soul Food Cafe. You can find that on Venmo. You can find that on GoFundMe. Yes.
Awesome. I want to thank you, Michelle, for taking time to come and let us know
my pleasure.
how we can be able to support you. And I will certainly, I look forward to, supporting, be the fundraiser and getting just period, but also
Yes.
it's been a minute since I've had that, Michelle, I really, that fried whiting
Yes.
sandwich and or plate.
Yeah, it's true.
Made
It's
with
true.
my greens and macaroni and
Yes.
cheese. So I need to come see you, and I encourage other folks to come support our sister.
Thank you
Is
so
there anything
much.
else you wanted to say to our listening viewers?
I just want to say thank you to the community. I just really feel like it's because I'm able to people have donated food
Yes.
and resources
Yes.
in order for me to be able to do this to save my business.
Yes.
And I really, really appreciate it. So,
Yes. Well, tell Mom and Terry
I will.
I said hello.
yes.
Yes. And again, thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
And thank you, our listening and viewing audience. We are going to pause. We're almost at the top of the hour. We'll pause for our station ID. I will be back on the other side of the top of the hour for part 2 of Healing Our Land's broadcast. And one of my younger sisters, Pastor Tori Rogers, will be with us at the top of the hour talking about a hunger night. And the hunger night is not hunger as we're talking about natural food, but a hunger for spiritual
All right.
food.
Yes.
For spiritual nourishment. The Bible says, "Oh, that hunger and thirst
For righteousness.
after righteousness
That's right.
shall be filled." So she's going to talk about her vision and what's happening with that. And they have a special keynote speaker. That's our friend, Pastor Kathleen Burner, powerful woman of God, as well as it will be supported by music ministry by New England. I think it's called House of Praise, and that's out of New England Pentecostal Church. And these are folks who we go way, 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 way back, our family. So I know that it's going to be powerful. So make sure that you tune in on part 2, again, on the other side of the top of the hour. But we're going to pause while I walk my sister to the door. And while I do that, I'm going to shift and go to some music. But please stay tuned, and please encourage other folks to join us for part 2. And I'm going to, as we shift, I'm going to go back again to Brother Mark Green. He's got a powerful testimony. This song's title is Hear My Prayer. And we do certainly know that the fervent, effectual prayers of the righteous avail much. So we want God to hear our prayers. Brother Mark Green coming to you. We'll be right back.
When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. Yeah. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. Now in the world, I only prayed when I needed your help. I wasn't thinking about praise, I was thinking about self. I wanted you to change the hand they dealt, expand my wealth. And when I got sick, I prayed for health. Often asked you for help. You gave me that. You never one time asked that I pay you back. That's why I'm taking time to lay this track, the latest fact. Bring it to the light, no fade to black. I don't know how many chances you gave me, Lord. All I know is that you never ever played me, Lord. So now I'm gonna bend my knees. I let my grief extend my life. I know you paid the price. By a world, I'm no longer a slave to thee. And the earth's no longer a grave to me. I can live cause Christ has paid for me. Now I can be what I was made to be. That's right. When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. Now you can act like you never asked God for help. Walk around like you're tough, keep it under your belt. Who else really know the pain you feel, the pain you felt? Who else know the things you think, except for self? It's time that we all give God some thanks. He's reliable like cash, you can take to the bank. If you want to bet on Christ, he'll do you right. The blind gets brought to light, he'll give you sight. So don't ever sleep on the power of prayer. Put yourself in God's hands for immediate care. If you got a heavy burden that's hard to share, if you got a heavy load that's hard to bear, give it all to the Lord in his listening ears. Dry your tears, Christ will subside your fears. Give your heart to the Lord, he abides in there. All your goodness lies in there, yeah. When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. I know that God answered prayers, cause he did it for me. I know that God answered prayers, cause I'm finally free. I'm no longer chained down to them streets and stuff. I'm no longer duck slugs from them cats that's bust. I've been saved by the word, so I don't do drugs. I'm protected from the world, yeah, I'm covered in blood, I'm covered in love. That's why I wanna share my joy. I don't do them old things that I did before. See, my whole life changed when I bent my knees. Darkness gave way to the light you see. It's the spirit of the Lord shining bright in me. Now I feel so free, you've enlightened me. It's like a burden had been lifted and I reached new heights. Once nothing made sense, now they seem so right. One thing seemed dark, now they seem so bright. Once I would've fell apart, now I'm keeping it tight. When I get down on my knees, Lord, hear my prayers. When you hear me begging, please, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm sick or when I'm grieved, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers. When the devil's on me, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm blind and can't see, Lord, hear my prayers. When I'm lost like a sheep, Lord, hear my prayers. All I ask is that you hear my prayers.
We honor your presence in this house today, God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Hey, we love you, Jesus. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dove, we need you to stay. Please stay. Please stay right with us.